What's up, guys and gals? It's Ethan here, and as you can see, I'm at the Squaw Flat Trailhead in the Needles District of Canyonlands National Park in southeastern Utah. And today I'm going to be doing the Squaw Canyon-Lost Canyon loop, starting here, going down here, going straight here through Squaw Canyon, up over and into Lost Canyon, and then hit my campsite right there, LC3. This is going to be an overnight trip for me, a solo overnight trip, and sorry about the wind, I know it's windy, but it's going to be a fun overnight trip in the beautiful Canyonlands backcountry. So let's get started. Alright, hiking through Squaw Flat right now, open desert. And it's kind of hard to see it in the video, but all out here there's a lot of these really cool looking wildflowers. You can see them right here, and you can't really see them in the video from far away, but this whole open area is just covered in these beautiful orange wildflowers. Considering that it is mid-May, everything's blooming out here in the high desert in Utah, so it's an especially beautiful time of the year to come out here. And luckily, today's not a super hot day. It's about 75 degrees right now. It's supposed to go up to about 82, and that is kind of hot, but all this earlier this week, it was in the 90s out here, so I definitely got lucky. So this should be a really fun trip. So I've hiked up onto some slick rock, and off in that direction, normally you'd be able to see the LaSalle Mountains from here, but it's a pretty windy day, so there's a lot of dust and dirt getting kicked up, and that's actually obstructing some of the views. And the wind's not supposed to die down anytime soon. It's supposed to be like 15 to 20 mile an hour winds all day. But honestly, I don't mind, because it's pretty warm and there's not much shade. So having some wind to cool me off every once in a while is a good thing in my book. So right now, I'm just kind of hiking over some slick rock, and pretty soon I'm going to start going down into, I believe it's Squaw Canyon is the first one you hit. The way that I'm taking the loop, I'm going to hit Squaw Canyon first, and then when I get into Lost Canyon, pretty much as soon as I get down to the canyon is where my campsite will be. So I think it's probably about 5-6 miles today, not too much. And it is beautiful out here, as always. Lots of beautiful flowers on the trail. It's a great time of year to be out here. There's a lot of really cool color contrast out here in the desert right now. You got, of course, all the red and orange colors from the rocks and the dirt and the sand and everything. And then you got all these beautiful wildflowers, lots of yellows and orange and pink and red, all kinds of cool stuff. And then, you know, everything's in full bloom right now, so there's lots of greenery too. It's the desert floor is very green. All the trees have their leaves, and of course the junipers are green all year. It's a very beautiful time of the year to be out in the desert, and I'm just glad I'm here on a weekend where it's not going to be too hot. So I've been hiking for almost 2 miles now, and other than seeing a couple people at the trailhead, there hasn't been anybody else out here. And of course, the views, as they always are, amazing. Once again, the Needles does not disappoint. I really love it out here so much. Definitely one of my top 3 favorite national parks in the country. Alright everyone, I'm officially in Squaw Canyon now. So it's nice, it's a little cooler in here, a lot more tree cover. And still some beautiful scenery. Squaw Canyon, from what I've heard, I've actually been through Squaw Canyon before. My first time coming out here, I did the Big Spring Squaw Canyon loop. So I kind of was finishing my hike going through here, through Squaw Canyon. And normally this is the drier canyon, and Lost Canyon has a lot more, there's like some natural water sources and stuff like that, which is good. I mean, it's, you know, it's dependent on how much rain there is, but from what I heard, there is some water in Lost Canyon right now, which is good for me because I did bring over 6 liters of water, which is probably more than enough for drinking water and for cooking. But just in case, it's nice to know that even if it's stagnant, gross water, I can refill my you know, at least grab a liter or something from, you know, a sitting pool of water in Lost Canyon. Of course, I'm going to purify it. Yeah, it's beautiful out here, guys. I'm really enjoying this, as I do every time I come out here. So I'm in the middle of Squaw Canyon right now, and despite how dry this area is, I've seen a couple pools of water already, which is, yeah, there's one right there, which is nice. There is water sources along this trail. And it's really beautiful in here. It's a cool little canyon to hike through for sure. And I'm getting very close to getting out of Squaw Canyon, going over the Slick Rock. Should be less than a half a mile away from getting out of Squaw Canyon at this point. Probably about 1.25 miles to where the where my campsite is for the night, actually. Starting to get some great views of the Needles formations off there in the distance. And looks like we're coming up to a trail junction here. And I'm assuming this is the one for Lost Canyon. Druid Arch. I was just there like 2 months ago. So it's saying that way to Peekaboo Springs, and I'll double check the map just to be absolutely sure, but I believe that is the way to Lost Canyon. So not too much further to go. All right, so I'm climbing out of Squaw Canyon, up all this rock. Pretty steep in this section, not quite a rock scramble yet, but it might get to that up there. And you can kind of see through the trees. That's all Squaw Canyon down there. I can't wait to see the scenery at the top. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. In this nice little bowl. And it's like we got a couple little desert gardens. Really beautiful. And the trail goes up that way. And I believe like up there is the top. And then from there we'll just have to go down into Lost Canyon. And Squaw Canyon's, excuse me, way down there. Wow. Look at the views up here. It's amazing. Remember that spot right there, that little rock up there, that outcropping. I sat up there for about an hour, just taking in some of the best scenery I'd ever seen in my life. It's kind of nostalgic seeing that formation again. But this time we're headed in the opposite direction to Lost Canyon. Squaw Canyon's down there. And Lost Canyon is this way. Alright, I'm officially at the top, admiring the views. That's Lost Canyon down there. My campsite should be right about over there, so I'm very close. And wow, these views are so amazing. Really cool. So I'm making my way down into Lost Canyon. You can see over there some hikers coming out of Lost Canyon. And at this point I'm less than half a mile away from camp. Alright, so I'm officially down in Lost Canyon. And it's beautiful down here. And now it's just a short little walk through the bottom of the canyon here to get to my campsite. All right, just want to show you the views in Lost Canyon. Which are awesome. And I also wanted to show you this. LC3 made it to camp. Here it is, guys. LC3 campground. Little backcountry site here in the Needles. And it's beautiful. Some shade. No wind down here in the canyon. Awesome. Alright, what's up, guys? Just enjoying the views from my awesome backcountry site here in the Needles and Canyonlands. And I finally got my stuff set up. So my tent's in there, got my sleeping pad and sleeping bag out and everything, and it's all inflated and ready to go for the night. Got my camping stove out there. I'm not going to be cooking dinner until way later. I'm just kind of enjoying myself right now. It is only about 2 o'clock, so I got plenty of daylight left. But honestly, I'm going to try to go to sleep fairly early. Although, I can pretty much guarantee you I'm not going to be able to get any sleep until the sun goes down, because it's going to be way too hot in the tent to do that. It is pretty windy, which is kind of a bummer. Some of this dirt and stuff is kind of blowing around every now and then when the wind gets down here. But it's not horrible. It's doable. It's fine. And I'm probably going to end up putting some extra stakes down in the tent a little later before I go to sleep, just to make sure I don't get blown away in the middle of the night or anything. But yeah, it's really beautiful out here. I'm enjoying this a lot. And I gotta say, I feel like I made a really good decision packing all my water in, because there actually was some water in Squaw Canyon, but there has been no water that I've seen yet in Lost Canyon, at least not in this section of the canyon. So I think I definitely made the right call packing in all my water and carrying my own water. Even though the extra weight sucks, it was the right decision, it would seem. But I'm just kind of exploring the area. I did kind of sit and relax for a second after that hike, and then got my stuff set up, but now I'm kind of just hanging out, exploring, looking at all the cactus and desert scenery. It is a really cool place. Alright, guys, climbed up some slick rock to try to get some views, and my little climb definitely paid off. These views are awesome. Really cool views overlooking Lost Canyon. There's the trail down there. It's a very quiet place. Even in the middle of a beautiful Saturday, it's still just very quiet and very peaceful out here. Not a lot of people. Really cool. So I'm just up here kind of enjoying the views. Gonna have a little snack, and yeah, that's about it. Like I said, probably gonna end up trying to get some sleep. I want to get a good night's sleep, and I also want to wake up pretty early. I'm gonna try to wake up before 6 if I can, actually, just so I can get an early start, because I do got about I'd say like 4.5 mile hike to get back to the trailhead in the morning, and I just want to get an early start on that so I can hike out and drive back home, because it is, from the trailhead, it's about a 6.5 hour drive back home for me. And I am working on Monday, so I definitely have to be back on Sunday night. So hopefully I can get to sleep by like 8 or 8:30 when the sun starts going down and starts cooling off a little bit. And yeah, just get a good night's sleep. Enjoy it out here. It's kind of a bummer that you can't have fires out here, but I definitely understand why. But anyway, I'll get back to you guys a little later. What's up, guys? Still hanging out at the campsite. Been hanging out for quite a while now. Just kind of relaxing, just enjoying it out here. It is, the temperature's starting to drop a little bit. It's about 6:30 now, which means it's going to be dark in a couple hours. And whereas like an hour ago, only like behind that tree was the only place where I could get shade. Now this whole area where my tent is and everything, it's all in the shade. Pretty much the whole campsite's in the shade, which is really nice because that sun was definitely beating down on me for most of the day today. It is middle of May in the desert, so even though it didn't get too hot, it only got up to about 80 degrees, 82 degrees, something like that. But I mean, that's still hot enough with how exposed and everything it is out here that it was, I was feeling the heat for sure. So I'm glad I feel like it's probably dropped down to like the mid 70s now. And now that this is all shaded and, you know, I'm not directly in the sun, now it feels really nice. It's about perfect right now in my campsite. But anyway, I'm just kind of enjoying it. Got the REI quarter dome that I'm sleeping in tonight. And also, I wanted to show you guys one more thing. So unfortunately, I only have the one sleeping bag, which is a 15-degree bag, which means that it is going to be extremely hot tonight. Even though it's supposed to go down to the 50s, I'm probably going to end up just using it as more as a blanket than a sleeping bag. But I got a new piece of gear I wanted to show you guys. So this right here is my new sleeping pad. If you guys remember, I had that Thermarest pad. I can't remember what it was called, but it wasn't the greatest. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but you know, it only had an R value of 3.4, which would have been fine for tonight. But on colder nights, this is a good one to have. So this is the REI Flash all-season pad. Whoa, my hand looks weird looks blue. The light reflecting off the sleeping bag. But anyway, yeah, this is the REI Flash all-season pad. It's got an R value of 5.2, so it's built for a lot colder temperatures, and it doesn't have that foam piece in the middle of it, so it's just an inflatable pad, and so that means it packs down a lot smaller. Really good for backpacking trips. This is the second time I've used it because I did car camp and use this pad when I hiked Sugarloaf Mountain in Boulder, but this is the first time I've used it on a backpacking trip, and I'm enjoying it so far. I like it. And then over here, this is just a pillow that I got, Thermarest pillow, and it's got memory foam in it, and it actually packs down pretty small. I mean, I figured I'd bring it, give it a try, and I do like that the Sea to Summit pillow that I have, but this one is, I would say, definitely going to be, it's a little bulkier to carry in your pack, but I'd say it's definitely going to be more comfortable than just an inflatable pillow. So anyway, that's all I wanted to show you for now. I'm about to start cooking dinner pretty soon. It's getting to be about that time. So I'll get back to you guys soon. All right, I got my MSR wind burner going here. And that water should be boiling pretty soon for tonight's dinner. The lasagna. Probably my favorite Mountain House meal, actually. I really like it. It's a little after 7. It's about 7:15 right now. As you can see, the sun's starting to set. Getting a beautiful glow down here in the canyon. And I am just loving this. This is so cool. Getting to camp out here in the backcountry. By the way, guys, get yourself one of these if you like to use your phone while you're on backpacking trips. I mean, I use my phone quite a bit for recording video and stuff, and this thing is really helpful. I get 4 full charges out of it when this is fully charged. Definitely worth the money. And as you can see here, the water is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and get my dinner ready. Alright, here we go. Mountain House lasagna. It is extremely hot too, so gotta be careful here. As always, a good way to finish off the day. Just waiting for the sun to go down now. The temperatures have cooled significantly from what they were earlier. It's probably in the high 60s right now. It's supposed to go down to about 52 tonight. So, it should be a very nice, comfortable night out here. Well, I'm going to finish eating, guys. Alright, guys. It's about 8 o'clock right now. I'm just standing here looking at all the cool colors on the rocks. The rocks are starting to get a little bit of a glow from the sun starting to set. And the desert is really coming to life right now. You can hear all the birds, frogs. Lots of cool sounds going on right now. And it's just about a perfect evening out here. This is, so far, day one's been pretty awesome. And I'm kind of hoping, I'm hoping that I can get to sleep within like the next hour. But honestly, I forgot how late the sun stays up. In my head, I imagine it being pretty dark by 8 o'clock, and it's still, it's, the sun's setting, but it's not, dark at all yet. It's still completely light, and it's definitely going to be difficult for me to try to go to sleep when it's still, when there's still light outside. But it definitely should be dark in another hour, so I'm hoping about another hour I'll be able to hit the sack, get some sleep, get a good night's sleep, and wake up bright and early in the morning. And while I'm standing here, I'll have my dessert for the night, which is a white chocolate macadamia nut Cliff Bar. I like these Cliff Bars because, they're not, this thing is kind of like eating a cookie, except it's way more filling than a cookie. So honestly, I'm probably only going to eat like half of it because that lasagna filled me up pretty good. And then I'll eat half of it and use the other half for like a trail snack when I'm on my way out. Because I still have my breakfast meal in the morning, and then I also have some almonds and stuff like that. But I'm just really loving this out here. Look at that glow on those rocks. Getting to see all the cool sunset colors. Alright, guys. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock now. As you can see, things are getting pretty dark. I gotta tell you, I'm actually pretty surprised at how much light there still is for it being as late as it is, but it's pretty much dark. It'll be completely dark probably within another 15 minutes or so. So, it's about my bedtime now. It's still a very comfortable temperature. It's probably in the mid 60s right now, or like low 60s, I guess. But it feels very comfortable out here right now. Kind of sucks that They don't allow fires back here in the backcountry. I'd like to have a little fire before going to bed, but since I can't do that, I'm just gonna call it an early night. Like I said, I do plan on being up pretty early in the morning. I got an alarm set for 5:30, so hoping to be up by 5:30, and that way I can just get my get breakfast made, tear down the camp, and hit the trail. Hopefully get on the trail before 7, because it is going to be about a 2-hour hike, 2.5 hours, something like that, to get out of here. And yeah, I'd imagine, or like I said, I would like to be back at the car, or be back at, I guess, I'm a little tired, so excuse me, but be back in Moab by like 11 would be great. That way I can get back home at a reasonable time tomorrow evening. So anyway, I'm gonna call it a night, guys, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Morning, guys. So it's about 6:15 in the morning. Slept in a little bit later than I was planning to. I wanted to wake up around 5:30, and I did, but it was still pretty dark at 5:30, so I decided to, I was still tired, decided to sleep in a little bit longer. So it's about 6:15 now, and I'm awake, gonna start getting breakfast ready here soon, and then I'm gonna pack out, head back to the trailhead. I did get a good night's sleep, though. It got down to probably like 55 degrees. Not cold at all. It was a very nice, very comfortable night. And I just had the sounds of crickets and birds chirping and stuff like that. And, that was it. It was a very nice night out here. Really cool. But the one thing I'm bummed about is I forgot to bring coffee. I knew I was forgetting something, and that was it. I forgot to bring coffee, so I have no coffee to drink this morning, which is definitely a bummer, but that's okay. Still got some breakfast, and I'll get some coffee when I get back in town. Anyway, I'll get back to you guys a little later. Beautiful morning here at my campsite. Really beautiful. The sun's coming up. It's nice and cool right now, right at about 55 degrees, 56 degrees. I'm really liking this. Well, it's breakfast time, so I'm gonna go back to camp and make some breakfast skillet, which is another favorite mountain house meal of mine. I got to start mixing it up a little bit, though, because I think I've had lasagna and breakfast skillet on every backpacking trip I've done for like the last 3 times I've gone on backpacking trips. So next time I promise I'll get something different, but for now it's time for breakfast skillet. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the famous breakfast skillet. Cooked it with my MSR wind burner, as always, and having it with Gatorade because I do not have coffee, which is such a bummer. I'd love to have some coffee right now, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll get some when I get back into town a little later. But anyway, I'm gonna eat my breakfast, and then once I'm finished with that, start tearing everything down and packing everything up and get ready to get out of here. All right, guys, I got camp torn down, all packed up, and I am ready to go. By the way, I don't think I showed this in any of my videos, any of the video I've recorded yet, but look at this. Interesting little thing somebody did here. Somebody who had a lot of time on their hands apparently. Got really bored. But I thought that was interesting. It's pretty cool looking actually. But anyway, time to hit the trail again. So from here, it's probably about, I think it's about 4 miles to get out of here. Got about 2 miles of hiking through Lost Canyon, and then 2 miles of hiking through Squaw Flat. And then be back at the trailhead and finish up this awesome weekend trip in Canyonlands. Alright, well, I'm hiking through Lost Canyon, and look how lush this area is. Just tons of green everywhere, grass, trees, all that stuff. It almost doesn't feel like I'm in the desert right now. This little section of Lost Canyon kind of has a Sedona vibe to it, actually. Really cool. I'm really impressed with the views here in Lost Canyon. Should be about another 3/4 of a mile before we start getting back into Squaw Flat. I'll tell you right now though, the trail through Lost Canyon is very primitive in some areas. Really overgrown, lots of down trees. Hard to follow in some spots. You really got to watch where you're going. But it's cool, I've had this trail to myself all morning, so no complaints here. What's up, YouTube? What's up, guys? A little, someone's decided to join me on the trail this morning. And there he goes. That was a big deer, too. That deer was literally walking right down the trail, and then it saw me and cut off to the right. Just shows you how deserted this trail is right now, that a deer was just trotting right up the trail, no problem. I might have been the first person that deer has seen today. Anyway, just passed by a sign saying I'm a little ways back that said I was 2.5 miles away from Squaw Flat campground where the trailhead is. So probably got about another 2.25 miles to go. Alright guys, well, I'm starting to climb up out of Lost Canyon. Climbing up on the slick rock here. Getting a great overlook of the canyon now. So I'm assuming that I'm going to be climbing up the slick rock for a little while longer, and then going up over the other side and then down into Squaw Flat. So I might have to do a little rock scrambling. So far there hasn't been any actual scrambling, but I might come to that a little bit later. The sun's out now and the temperature is going up pretty fast. It's almost 70 degrees now. It's only supposed to go up to 78 today though. It's not supposed to be too hot. Alright guys, we have topped out on the trail. And look at these views. You're looking down at Lost Canyon, where I was just hiking through. All the beautiful rock formations all around. Some of the Needles formations off there, over there. Wow. There's all that Squaw Flat down there. You can see the trail going right through there. And way off in the distance, you can't really see it on the video, but I actually can see the trailhead from here. I can see some cars and stuff, so. But over there, all that plateau stuff over there, that's Island in the Sky. And unfortunately, the LaSalle Mountains are being blocked right now. It looks kind of cloudy over there, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to see the LaSalle Mountains, but I can't be too sure. But either way, the views are incredible. You can see another mountain range back that way towards Monticello. I forget what that mountain range is called. Not as big as the LaSalle's, but still pretty cool. So I'm gonna start heading down. I can see the rock cairns making their way down there. And then, like I said, there's the trail going through Squaw Flat back to the trailhead. About another probably mile and a half maybe from here. But wow, these views are so incredible. I live for moments like this in Canyonlands. That moment where you get to a high point up on the trail in between canyons or whatever, and you're up on this slick rock and you just get these amazing views. So cool. Getting a nice view of Chesler Park from here. And right now I'm just hiking through Squaw Flat, through the open desert. And I'm not too far away from the trailhead, probably about half a mile, maybe like 3/4 of a mile. Just enjoying what little of this hike I have left. One last cool vantage point. Chesler Park's over in that direction. And for the first time on this whole trip, I can see the LaSalle Mountains. Really cool. Alright guys, so I am coming up on the trailhead right now. Very close. It's just right on the other side of those trees. You can't really see it from here, but it's right there, right up ahead. Which means that this awesome weekend overnight backpacking trip in the Needles is coming to an end. So I just wanted to thank you guys for watching this video. I had a lot of fun on this trip. This is only my second ever, or third ever solo backpacking trip. And definitely the longest of the solo trips I've done. And I had a great time. This was a lot of fun. As always, the scenery out here was beautiful. It was very, very quiet the whole time. Got to see some cool wildlife. Just everything in general was awesome. And had great weather. So Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Once again, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.